How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Welcome back to another episode of the AQ Nostalgia Quest series, and today marks episode 40 of season 5 of the Nostalgia Quest series. So I thought I decided to end the series here. Initially, I was planning to wait until the start of next year before starting a new season, but since we are already at episode 40, might as well cap it off on a good note. And this season has also ran longer than many of the other previous seasons. So instead of this episode, I'm just going to go through a recap of the entire build I did and the stuff that I learned along the way, as well as the equipment choices that I decided to make, and of course the stat choices. And then with regards to the quests, I would say for this season we had quite a varied amount of quests as well as sagas. This season wasn't particularly focused on any one saga. Maybe there was Truthma, there was Darkovia. Okay, maybe it was a bit more Truthma heavy, but I think we did have quite a nice variety for this season. So yeah, I did quite enjoy most of the quests inside of this season, minus the Truthma saga ones. Okay, so this episode, now let us go ahead and talk about my stats. So I know for majority of this season, at least the first half, I've been using the Backlash set, and that's only because I just recently got the set when we started off the season, so I didn't really want to let the $100 go to waste. I know when I started off the season, I said that I wanted this build to be able to do everything, and yes, this build has achieved that. This build can do everything. It's just that I didn't showcase it doing everything inside of every video, because that would just be impossible, and it requires too much brain power. I'm a lazy guy, alright? So yeah, and then for the second half of the season, we did use our Doomlight, no, not Doomlight, our Pale Skull set, which we won from the donation contest. Also very happy about it, and obviously that is probably like one of the most expensive items I've ever gotten inside of the entire game. Okay, so yeah, this set, this build, so-called, I started with this build thinking that I wanted to do everything. So for the build, it's mostly focused around this one item called Quad Force. It's a very, very powerful and versatile item that allows you to set your strength, dexterity, intellect, as well as charisma stat to 250. You can set each of them to 250, or you can set them all to 250. Though I don't think anyone would turn on all 4 toggles at the same time, because one, the SP cost will be so crazy that I don't even think something like Jelly Pet or even the Fey Wanderer Pet will be able to keep up. And on top of that, you probably only need to turn on 3 at any one time. So I decided to... Endurance and Luck were the 2 stats that did not come inside Quad Force, so these are 2 stats that I had to include inside of the build. Okay, if you're running a pure Backlash build, then you don't want Luck. Instead, you want your 250 points in Luck to go into Charisma instead, to boost your, your Backlash guesses and pets like your Dread Fiend of Nalgath, your Essence of Carnage, your Angra Linum. But this is not a Backlash build, this is a Jack of all trades build. That's why I built it like this. Okay, so Quad Force is the whole center of this build. I know I didn't really use it much, but if I wanted to, the option is always there. Essence Orb and Pixel Eater, resource conversion items, pretty standard, and I know I'm using the level 5 version of Essence Orb with 250 endurance, so this is absolutely overkill, and a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of comments about this. Click, yes, I know that, but for me personally, I like to play the game in the most I would say efficient manner possible. Not efficient in terms of like real world time or in terms of like actual number of clicks, but efficient in terms of game resources, the best possible way to use or abuse something. I don't really care about all those sort of stuff, and I don't think anyone should either. There's no shame in it. If it's part of the game, then so what? Anyone is free to use it, and you should use it if you need to. Okay, and of course I do spam the potions quite heavily, even though not really needed a lot of times. Prime Chaos Orb, super versatile item. Of course you can increase damage dealt on the monster, but most people use it for the elemental scramble, which is what I use it for as well. Shadow Feeder Pendant, Celerity, who doesn't like that? Very good item. Okay, and I think everyone should run Shadow Feeder Pendant. Zfinity Gauntlet Power, very good for that extra bit of damage from elemental vulnerability. That's what I use it for. Bag of Mixed Nuts, again another super versatile item. I can choose between like so many different effects here. Look, okay, if I wanted to play dodge, I can with Walnuts. If I wanted to take reduced damage, I can with Donuts. If I wanted to boost my damage, go full out offense, I can use damage. And if I wanted to stun the enemy, I can with Bolts. But of course, with how prevalent freedom is nowadays, that's not going to be that good. But still, super duper versatile item. Like you have damage, you have defense, you have utility in the stun, all in one item. Okay, of course this is perma rare, so if you don't have it, I'm very sorry, you can no longer get it. And optical, one of the newest items inside here. Very, very useful and one of the best items for Beastmasters, giving your pet, you know, extra lucky strike rate. That's what most people use it for, and I think it's very good. If you're a Beastmaster, then you definitely want to run this. For the spells, okay, Invincible Star, one of the best defensive spells in the game. You can choose the cost, you can choose you know, whether you want a lesser star, normal star, or a greater star. And this is good against heavy nuking bosses, or you know, when you go into the battle completely blind, you don't know what the boss is going to hit you with. Invincible star, greater star for the SP nuke attack, and you literally don't have to care, okay? Again, another perma rare item. I know not everyone will have that. Cycera's explosive teleport booth. I added this in because if you guys notice, this build oh, we now have a water weapon. Okay, initially I think it didn't come with like a water weapon or like a way to water nuke. That was why I included this in. This is the only burst slash damage spell inside of the whole build, and you can get this from a token package. I think it's very good, and it's the best damaging water spell in the entire game. That was why I chose to run it. 74th Law and Mandate. These two are status bomb spells. Okay, huge shout out to Brady Simmons for bringing these two spells to my attention. 74th Law for Bleed and Burn. Okay, Bleed, this build doesn't have so much Bleed potence, but for Burn, initially I used to run the Snuggle Heart Shield, which can help with Bleed potence, but of course I don't really use it that often. So if I wanted to play Burn, I could with the build, and of course with, let me see here. No, okay, I didn't run that. Okay, never mind. Yeah, if I wanted to play Burn with the build, I can. Of course, not as good as some other builds with like a full dedicated set of equipment for burning. Mandate is a very good defensive spell. You can blind, you can choke. If I wanted to play dodge, I can use this spell. Or if I didn't want to take that much damage, I can use this spell as well. That being said, these two spells don't do a lot of damage. You can boost it with Elemental Empower, or if you inflict Elemental Vulnerability on your foe, you can make these spells do some decent damage, but of course nowhere near as good as something like the Teleport Booth. No Lemons, No Melon is another spell that I didn't really use throughout this entire season, but it's something that you can use for control. And when I first started off, I ran the Accordion Shield, which gave me control potence. With how prevalent Freedom has become, this is no longer so good. So if you're thinking of playing this build, maybe I'll replace this with something else. Siphon, very, very good healing spell, and on top of that, you also deal harm damage, so you can heal both your HP and your MP, and you do harm damage with the spell. Not a lot of damage, but you know, Elemental Vulnerability with Empower, all that kind of stuff, you can make it deal decent damage, okay? The healing is also decent, but of course, I prefer to abuse my potions. Runic Binding. This one gives you Elemental Empowerment as well as giving the monster Elemental Vulnerability. Very good if you want to burst or you want to increase your damage, and then you have summon creature 72. This is great for the Fey Wanderer synergy. For weapons, okay, this is the from the new set. Initially, my fire weapon, what did I use for the fire weapon again? I can't even remember, but yeah, I'm now using the Infernal Champion for the fire weapon, and then Ice Blade of Frost will pass. Very good. Once per battle, I can click on it, inflict Ice Elemental Vulnerability onto my foe, so it's great for Ice Nuking, and this will come into good synergy with the other item that I have later on. Axe of Pale Skull, the Pale Skull set. Honestly, the weapon is the least favorite part of my set. If you guys watch through my review on the Pale Skull set, you will know that I dislike the weapon the most out of the whole set. Not to say that it's super bad, but I just don't think it's as fantastic as the other items of the set. But, you know, I ran it anyway because this did cost quite a lot to get. Okay, Doomlight weapon, obviously, as part of the Doomlight set. Big Dictionary, this is for the dodge lashing part of the build. And this is perma rare, but if you don't have this, you can run like a Code Konami as part of your spell, or you can run something, blind weapon like your frag grenades or Alchemical Unity. You can use those. Exalted Unity. This one, even though it requires charges, which I don't really like, but it's super versatile. You have auto hit, you have empower, you have imbue, so that's why I chose to go with this weapon. But I think I may probably replace it in my new build because I don't really like the fact that you need to have it charged up before you can use it. Terror Eater for the fear, you know, part of the build, and the fear eating is something that I also included inside of this build, so that's quite nice. Shields, Fire Shield used to be Snuggle Hearts, but I replaced it with this, so this build can no longer do burn that well, so yeah. Frost Titan Head, this is for dodge slashing. Very, very good shield, but from the Golden Gift Box. So if you guys have spare Golden Gift Boxes, you can pick this up for your dodge slash build. Otherwise, you can stick with Titan's 4, which is a completely free to play shield for dodge slash. Pale Skull Defender, this is pretty good for Elemental Empowerment. Each time the foe hits you, you get a little bit of Elemental Empowerment. It's not significant, but you know, it's better than nothing. So if you're running an offensive build, this is a very good shield to have, if you're lucky enough to get it. Okay, Doomlight Shield, obviously Academy Pack. Very lucky to get this from the raffle contest item. This is the best in slot wind shield for mages. Mages don't really have a lot of options when it comes to wind shields. But if you don't have this, then I guess you can run the Dragon Lord shield, which isn't that good unless you're strength trained. So unless you're a warrior, that shield's not going to be that fantastic. But that being said though, it's not like you have any other great choices as well. Okay, Strawberry Shield Cake. Best light shield hands down. So any of the other elemental variants will also be the best shield hands down. Yes, you do need to charge a bit, but once you charge it, this shield does so many things. You get damage reduction, you get shield, you get imbue, you get extra charisma, you get crit, you get celerity. Like, this is an insane shield, okay? And Eclipse Dragon Lord's Will, just the darkness version of the Haunted Dragon Lord's Will, alright? Because I don't really have much other choice. I can also choose to run the Terror Shield if I want to, you know, drink fear or something like that. But I think this is better. Like, you see, take a look here with 0 strength. If I just click on it, 392 SP, it gives me 149 HP barrier, which is honestly pathetic for 349 SP. So yeah, if you're not running strength, then probably you might want to run something else. Okay, and then for armors, okay, Infernal Champion, not the fire armor that I started out with, but if you don't have this, I guess you can use, maybe you can use something like Dark Invader. That's a very good fire armor that also compresses darkness. Then Ice Necrocav, this is great with the elemental vulnerability from Mystic Blade of Frostveil Pass. This one also has its own elemental vulnerability skill, so you cast this Blade of Frostveil Pass and then you cast Chill Haunting, boom, big damage. And Chill Haunting is like 6 hits, and this is like a spellcaster lean armor, so super duper crazy strong nuke inside here, even good for bosses because of the 6 hits. So yeah, fantastic ice nuking armor. Might probably repeat this in the new build. Pale Skull Champion, the one that I won, the most expensive part of the set, absolutely had to run this, but it's also very good. Okay, you have the choke, okay, and I can spam the choke against any monster, and that will make the monster deal basically no damage with enough choke stacks, and then I can if I want to switch to offensive, I can just do Rainbow Scream, eat up the choke, and you know, deal a crazy ton of damage with the elemental empowerment. And the dismount mode is locked to water, so all water attacks will deal a lot of damage as well. I didn't have this when I first started out, and of course I don't think many people have this either. So if you don't have this, you can just run like a water nuking spell to cover like your water damaging needs, okay? Otherwise, you can run, maybe you can run Archmage Apprentice for your water armor. Yeah, that's another good choice. Doomlight Shadow Spark for the backlash part of the build. And then Ghost Costume, this is for dodge slashing, the best dodge armor out there. Okay, I know Moglowin just recently ended, so if you didn't manage to get this, you're gonna have to wait an entire year, but this is the best dodge slashing armor you can get in the game. If you don't have this, you can also run Shadowfall Raiment, which is available all year round, or if you have the no, okay, that package isn't back yet. Yeah, but the Shadow Scythe package is also decent for dodge slashing, but that package hasn't returned in a while, so it's not like you can get it anyway. Champion Holy Armor, the best light armor in the game, very versatile, does a whole bunch of stuff, fantastic against undead, against demons. So regardless of whatever build you are, you definitely want to run this as your light armor. Spellslinger's Obsidian Cloak, if you're a Beastmaster, if you're a mage, or any combination of the two, this is the best darkness armor out there, period. There's no other darkness armor you should be running apart from this one. Okay, if you're something other than like a mage or Beastmaster build, you can run something like Angel of Souls, that will also work well. Pets, Underwhelming, okay, I run this for a very long time and I find it very hard to replace this because the SP damaging part of its attack is just so useful against a lot of bosses. That's why I will highly recommend, and I personally feel this is probably one of the best fire pets inside the entire game. Unless they come out with a new fire pet that also has the same effect and the pet also does something else. Otherwise, I don't see Underwhelming ever being replaced as a fire pet. If you want the best damage, this is not it, but for how, you know, good the SP damaging attack is, I just find it impossible to replace. Commitoid Jelly, HP healing, MP healing, SP healing. One of the best healing pets, period. Fey Wanderer, another one of the best healing pets, period. You have your Panic Eater mode, and it can no longer nuke now, but the healing is still crazy, so very good for MP and SP healing. Okay, and then flincher, I only added this in, and the reason why I have 2 water pets is because I didn't want to take this out because I spent so much money on it. And flincher, still very good for choke, and you can turn it into elemental and power as well by eating the choke if you want to. So yeah, also another very versatile pet. And if Fey Wanderer wasn't around, this is probably the top option for water in my opinion. Okay, Thunderlord's Ravens, very very good pet. I like it for the energy burn. Normal damage, not so much. There are probably better, normal damaging. There are probably better damaging energy pets out there for pure damage, but Thunderlord's Ravens, I think the burn is super strong, especially if you can get it to stack. Oh yeah, speaking of the burn, yeah, if I used to run Snuggle Hearts, this will have synergy with Thunderlord's Ravens as well. Shiny Buzzard, this is very very good. Probably the best Earth pet in the entire game. You can click on it to spend some SP per turn, and then you just double. No, not double. You increase the potency of what it can do. Normally you can inflict Elevound, or you can cast Sleep on a foe, which is basically a perma stun until the monster can save. That isn't that useful, but the Elevound mode is super duper strong. That's why I love this pet. Spotter Drake, this is great for any statuses, okay, or if you want to turn it defensive, you can also do that, or if you want it to do damage, you can also do that as well. The best win pet in the game, period. Royal Cake, best light pet in the game. Okay, there's so many things you can do. This is from a token package. It's basically the strawberry shield in pet form. Okay, a little bit different here. Healing, you're blocking, your shield. You have strength bonus, intellect bonus, and here celerity. So very very versatile pet. But of course, this requires charging as well. So you can see here, this build, I can go defensive, I can go full offensive nuking, I can go dodge lashing, I can go back lashing, I can choke, I can empower, I can panic, I can burn, I can control. This build does absolutely everything. It's a jack of all trades. It's not a master of any one particular build, but and I certainly don't think this is like the best or the strongest build in the game, but I do think that this build is the most versatile build in the entire game. If you wanted to do everything, then you guys can go ahead and test out this build and have fun with it yourself. All in all, I still enjoy the build to today, and I think it's very fun build. If you get bored of dodge slashing, you get bored of choke, just play dodge slash. No, if you get bored of backlash, or you get bored of the choke, I can switch to dodge slash if I want to, or I can switch to a fully nuking setup if I want to. So yeah, if you guys want to try out this build, let me know down in the comments below how it went for you, what equipment you will replace, or if you guys have want to know any equipment that can be replaced, or any equipment that you don't have, because I do run quite a lot of perma rare stuff here because I have them, and of course premium stuff as well. But if you'd like to hear suggestions on what you can replace, you can let me know down in the comments below as well. And that wraps it up for season 5 of Nostalgia Quest. In the next episode, which will be season 6 episode 1, we will be, of course, we will be trying out a brand new build, and I'll let you guys know more about that when the episode starts. If you guys are part of my Discord, you'll probably already have an idea of what I wanted to go for. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Once again, I'd like to thank every single one of you guys for being part of this amazing journey with me, trying out different builds, having fun with all of them so far. Alright, till the next time, I'm your host Caravan Gaming. Peace out.